It's February the 26th, and we are still in the wilderness. I never really was a good traveler when I was a little one. I'm a little better traveler now. I'm a better traveler when I'm the driver. Not because I don't like the way other people drive, but when I'm driving, it keeps me occupied, keeps my mind off the fact that we're not there yet. Maybe y'all are that way, or maybe you're just one that just likes to sit back and just read a book or whatever. I'm not one of those people. I've tried. I'm not her. But I remember traveling a lot when I was little with my parents, and we would be out of the neighborhood and I would say, are we there yet? Out of the driveway, are we there yet? And I wonder, in this transition from Egypt to the Promised Land, how many times the Israelites thought, are we there yet? I mean, what are we doing? Do you remember back when God intentionally said, or explicitly said, I'm not taking them the short way? I think it's Exodus 13, 14, something like that. I'm not taking them the short way. There's a better route, a shorter route, but I'm not taking them there because they will probably get in a battle and get upset and turn around and go back to Egypt. Boy, he was right, because look at all the complaining that they did and wanted to turn around and go back to Egypt in this longer way. But I wanted to talk about this wilderness place because many people today are in a figurative wilderness. Maybe some are actually in a physical wilderness, not like out, like in the Congo somewhere, like in the desert. Maybe so. I don't know how far read through the word reaches. But maybe there are some that are in a physical place of being destitute. Maybe there are some that are in a wilderness of indecision, a wilderness of emotional wilderness, a financial wilderness. But I want to point out in today's lesson that the wilderness is not always a bad place to be. It's not always a place that nothing is happening. I mean, you have to remember that during this time, God has been working. They may not be to their destination, but God has been working in and among them. And we have to look at God's word and look at God's track record. That's the word I'm looking for. We have to look at God's track record with his people. Y'all, he's a faithful God. He's a faithful God. He is a covenant-keeping God. Because of Abraham's belief, generations, nations will be blessed. We are grafted into God's covenant of faithfulness because of our belief in Jesus Christ. Because Abraham believed and it was counted as righteousness unto him, and he received the promise from God, and we believe in Jesus, we're all grafted in. So if God was faithful in this place of in-between, wilderness sounds so out there. It sounds hot. It sounds sandy and dirty. It sounds unproductive. It sounds tiring. It sounds like a place where we get worn out. So I want to rename a wilderness to the in-between. So because God faithfully worked at the in-between in our ancestors, these are our ancestors, spiritual ancestors, he is going to work in our in-between. He is. He is a faithful God to his children. If he worked then, he is going to work now. One of the things that I read in one of the commentaries, and I cannot remember which one it is, said this. The wilderness was never, oh, this is so good. You might have to like pause and repeat and write this. And it's not mine. It is not my words. I may have gotten it from Enduring Word, but I'm not sure. So that's David Uzick. But so don't credit me with saying this. The wilderness was never meant to be Israel's destination. It wasn't. God did not bring you, please listen. God did not bring you from there to leave you in the in-between. He did not. The in-between is a place that we can experience God, that we can see God work, that we can learn to trust his faithfulness. That's what this whole thing is about. They got the law, they got the tabernacle built, they established a priesthood, leadership, community. They established so many things here in this in-between. God worked. The destination was the place of promise, Canaan, the promised land. And I am of the belief, sitting right here, right now, that our place of in-between is not our destination. God has a place and a purpose for every one of his children. And in order to get from there to there, we have to go through here, the in-between. I also learned this today. The Hebrew word for wilderness is midbar, which means a place for driving flocks. Who are the sheep? It's us. It is not a completely arid desert, but contains little vegetation and a few trees. The rainfall in such area is too light, only a few inches a year, to support cultivation. So there is some vegetation, there is some water, rainfall, but it's not a place to stay because it can't maintain us. It can't support us. But it's a place to drive through. We have to get from here to there, we have to be here. The place in between. So we need to ask ourselves, in this place of in between of our old life to our place of promise and purpose, whatever that might be, what is our response? How are we going to act in our in between? Are we going to manipulate or accept God's plan? Are we going to make an idol to worship? Or are we going to worship the one and only? Are we going to moan and groan about the journey or trust and obey God? These are our choices. Are we going to get from here to there if we manipulate God's plan, make an idol, or moan and groan? Yeah, we will eventually get there, but the journey is a lot longer and it's a lot harder when we're not trusting and obeying God, when we are not accepting his plan of delay or wait or pause, whatever you want to call it, and when we are not worshiping only God, when we make our own idols. it just delays the process. And I'm going to tell you something else it does, is it keeps us from experiencing him in the fullness in our in-between. We're too busy trying to get there by doing this rather than just going the way he told us to go. I've been in several in-betweens in my life. Many in-betweens in my life. One in-between was 10 years, and that was my publishing in-between. This in-between from starting this ministry was more than that, because I didn't even know I was going to be starting this ministry. I didn't know this Word Up Ministries would be my place of promise and purpose. I didn't know that. But there was an in-between. There have been financial in-betweens that I've experienced and endured. And many, many emotional in-betweens. Living one right now, as a matter of fact. God is so faithful in the in-between. He has so much to teach us. He's so sweet and gentle and kind and loving in the in-between. Nobody really wants to be there. Everybody wants to hurry up. We just recently, within the last couple years, got a road called the Bypass. And we bypassed several towns to get from the Matthews area through the Monroe area to get on the way to the beach and east of the Carolinas on our part of the world. And we could not wait to get that bypass made because we could get from there to there so fast. You know, we want the drive-through to be faster. We want the transition of an order to be fast, and we want it to be on our front porch the next day. We've been accustomed to just having everything so quickly. And I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't trade my time in the in-between and the lessons that I've learned in the in-between with God for anything. Some of the in-betweens I didn't want to be in, like the one I'm in right now. But he's no less faithful and loving to me. So hang out with him in the in-between. Learn from him. Love on him. Let him love on you. Let him just miraculously provide for you in astounding ways. Ask him to open your eyes to see. That's what I'm doing. Let me see you. I know you're there. I know you're working. And I don't want to miss one thing. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.